Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, it's Ileka. I wanted to go live really quickly to share with you guys. I got my whiteboard here, so you know I'm serious today, right? I want to share with you guys some strategies to differentiate yourself and why it's so important to differentiate yourself to the audience, right? How do you draw in your ideal client by standing out, by differentiating yourself? So let me show you exactly what that I mean by that. But first of all, I'll tell you who I am. I'm Ileka Falette, and I work with wellness, I call them wellness pros, wellness professionals, wellness entrepreneurs who want to go from the chase and the grind and move toward monthly recurring revenue. They want to work less, live more, and feel better. So we use visibility strategies. We use what I call reclaim your time. So essentially, it's automations and systems. And then we also use productivity hacks so that you can actually do what you love and continue to step into that without giving up the lifestyle you love. And that's what we call reclaim your revenue. So really quickly, so I'm gonna take about 10 minutes and I'm gonna take you through how you get to stand out in the crowd. Because here's the thing, here's what can happen, right? You're walking through your everyday and you're like, okay, I'm posting all these videos on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or wherever else you're posting. Maybe you're even going on stage and you're speaking in front of an audience. But afterwards, it's not necessarily clicking, right? It's not taking you to that next level. It doesn't seem like you're consistently getting in front of that ideal audience. Or for whatever reason, when you do, in their minds, they're not hearing what they need to hear to sign up, right? And so let's talk about how you get to differentiate yourself so they begin signing up, so they understand that you are the one that they need to work with, right? So, first, let me quickly introduce to you who I am. So, I'm Ileka Falette. Well, I've already introduced you. Let me let you know where I am right now. Right now, I am live on YouTube, Instagram, and also on Facebook. And I'm going to be sharing these tips really quickly. So, first, let me tell you why I know how to do this or what I did. So, several years ago, about 7 years ago, I started a wellness and weight loss business. Right, I was helping women to achieve their health and fitness goals through by eating, exercising, and really shifting the mindset. And so, at first, I was looking at, okay, how do I stand out? How do I differentiate myself? And using what I did, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I did in a second, but using what I did to differentiate myself, I was able to build an audience of over 70,000 ideal clients, people who wanted to purchase what I was selling, right? Who wanted to do what I had and who could afford it. And that is what I did. So here's how I differentiate myself as a wellness, when I was a weight loss coach, right? First of all, I'd lost 120 pounds myself. So because I had lost that 120 pounds, and I'm just show you real quick where I'm talking. So we just mentioned differentiating yourself, right? In the audience, right? So how do you stand out? This is what you need to do. Why is this important? It's important to stand out in front of in your audience because what happens is there is a million people who have the same title as you. There are a million fitness coaches, health coaches. There are a million mindset coaches, relationship coaches, even financial wellness coaches. There are a million people who are calling themselves the exact same thing as you, right? Heck, there are a million people who call themselves wellness business strategists or business coaches, business strategists for wellness coaches. And so why is it important to stand out? Because being one amongst this million people doing the same thing, basically, how do you get found? How does your audience seek you and know that you're the person? So here's what I did when I was a weight loss coach. How I differentiated myself. How I built an audience of over 70,000. Basically, the first thing I did was highlight it. I looked within and I said, okay, what is it about me that is different from everybody else? That what makes me different? What makes me unique? What's going to make someone want to work with me? And so here's the first thing that I did. The first thing that I did was I looked at my life. What have I done? What are some of my accomplishments? Well, at the time, I had lost 120 pounds, right? That was different than most personal trainers most health coaches, most dietitians that I had ever worked with in the past, they hadn't actually achieved that goal. So that was one of the things that was different for me, right? That helped me stand out. People were going to want to work with me because they're like, I want to do what you did. So I was like, okay, cool. I get to talk about my story. That was a differentiator, right? Then I said, okay, what else did I do to differentiate myself? Oh, you know what? What else is different about me? I'm a mom of four, and my kids were little, right? So, mom of four babies, essentially, they were ages, I think, 2 to about 6 when I lost the weight. Yeah, I had 4 kids in about 6 years. So two to 8, I think, 2 to 7, something like that, when I lost the weight. Yeah, I had kids fast. So they were, very young. So I had 4 little kids and I'd achieved this goal. So I knew that there were going to be a bunch of women out there, moms out there, or just people who had really, really busy lives and still wanted to achieve a health goal. So this was going to allow me to stand out because I had done it with that busy life. But here's the third thing, because this may not be enough. You might find there might be a bunch of people who lost, 100, 120 pounds, a bunch of people who have a bunch of kids while doing it. But here's the other thing that had me stand out. I was, a, I had a very busy job. I was a business strategist. I was in business strategy for companies like IBM. I'm not supposed to say some companies. Anyways, I was a business strategist for major Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies, right? And so as I'm doing these are the three things that I was literally doing. This was my life, and married, so that goes into the mom of four, married, right? This was my life while I lost 120 pounds. So I had to do something different in order to achieve that goal. And that is how I stood out and was able to share that with my audience. Like, look, I didn't stop living life in order to achieve this goal that you all want to achieve. And maybe my clients didn't need to lose 120 pounds. Maybe they only need to lose 30 pounds, right? They still knew that if I could show them, if I could do 120, they could sure as heck do 30. So that was a differentiator in helping me to build an audience of 70,000 ideal clients. They knew I need to work with her because she has done what I want to do. And she did it while being a mom, while having a company, or while having a major, like, high demand job. And that was big, right? And so then about 4 years ago, I began helping, or maybe three, it's about 4 years ago now, almost 4 years, it'll be 4 years soon. But I began helping coaches because here's the other thing. Here's what started to have me stand out as a coach. So as I'm losing, I had my weight loss company. It was called Keto Mommy Makeover, and women were flocking to me. I was helping them achieve their goals. They were losing all this weight, feeling better, having more energy, living the life they wanted, right? And then here's what got to shift. Coaches began coming to me because what was happening was the same way that I had differentiated myself in the wellness industry, I was now differentiating myself amongst coaches. Wait, how are you running this business? You may not still need to lose 120 pounds, but you're still a mom of four. You still have a high demanding, business now. You're still an entrepreneur with a lot to do, right? Like, how on earth are you doing this? And so I began coaching coaches. This was in about 2020, right? I began coaching coaches only on a referral basis. I wasn't really making it my whole business yet because of fear. We'll talk about that in another live. But I wasn't fully making it my whole business yet. But here's the thing, right? So I was still differentiating myself. I was still highlighting how I was different. And so now you get to do that same thing, right? And I'm going to show you. So I've talked a bunch about how I build an audience of, as I'm doing this, I built that audience of, actually, I'll write it with a different one because this one stinks a little bit. I don't know why the Sharpie ones, the really thick Sharpie ones, they got a bit of a scent to it, and it can give me a little bit of a headache. So I'm gonna use this one. But anyways, doing this, I built that audience of 70,000, right? An audience of 70,000. And these were ideal clients. These are people who were ready to invest and who could afford to invest, right? And so guess what? When I decided only a few months ago to go 100% onto the business strategy side, business strategy for wellness entrepreneurs, wellness coaches, mindset coaches, life coaches, health and fitness coaches, dietitians, nutritionists, like in that space, folks who work with people to help people uh, move forward in their goals, right? When I decided to transition, this audience of 70,000 was no longer 100% my audience for my current offer. So now what did I need to do? What needed to shift? Hey, everybody. Oh, I see. Sorry, I was missing all the comments. Hey, hey, Sarah. So here's what needed to shift, right? I could no longer really service 100% of this audience. There's definitely still a good number of entrepreneurs, but they aren't all wellness entrepreneurs, right? There's still a good number of corporate women who want to start businesses, but they might not want to be doing wellness businesses. So now I had to rebuild an audience. And guess when I started that? September. What is now? We just started December. I started rebuilding an audience for the offer that I'm speaking about now in September, 2 months ago. So guess what I'm doing? I'm actually doing the thing that I'm teaching you to do, right? How to build an audience of ideal clients. Since September, I went from I'm just going to talk about Instagram real quick. I went from an Instagram that had it was about 16,000 people, something like that, right? Of those 16,000, the majority or maybe 15,000. Of those 15, the majority were all wellness. I want to lose weight. I want to feel better. I want to be healthier. I want to have more energy. I went from that. So the 16,000 wellness. Can you guys see down here? You can't see down here. Let me put you down here so you can see a little bit. I know on Instagram they can. But I went from the 15,000, and this is on IG, right? 15K, all people who wanted to be healthy, lose weight, feel better, have more energy, step into their best selves, all of that stuff, right? I increased my number and shifted the makeup. So now I built up about another 1,500 wellness folks, just new ideal clients, right? New ideal clients using the strategies, right? Differentiating myself. That's just on IG. On email, I had a pretty good sized email list of folks who all were looking at me for this. Oh, you lost 120 pounds. You're a mom of 4, right? And you had a high demanding job. So I went from that to differentiating myself so that I could lean into my new audience. And now still have begun to build this email list. So I have an email list of about, and again, this is since September, right? So, and this is now December. So I'm just dating what's happening right now. I now have an email list of about 600, and that's email. Email list about 600, all in my new ideal client set, right? So my total email list is about 3,500 or close to 4,000 or something like that. But these 600 are now a part of what I do, now a part of this offer as a business strategist for wellness coaches, for folks who are talking to people who need to buy from an investment of themselves standpoint, right? This is different. And so this is what I built recently. And how did I do this? Well, I'm going to be sharing exactly how I did it in the Client Magnet Blueprint, right? So if you guys haven't signed up for that, definitely go to clientmagnetblueprint.com or even ilekafalette.com and you can sign up. I'm going to be hosting a masterclass on Tuesday. I couldn't remember when. On Tuesday, talking about exactly the steps that I took. But I'm going to step into the differentiator thing even more so now. So here's what differentiated me as a business strategist for wellness coaches, right? So I built a thriving wellness coaching business myself, right? But here's the other thing that I hadn't even put together myself until I needed to really build this audience again, right? And I had to think about it. What made me stand out? What differentiated me? Here's what it was. Remember how I wrote that I was a business strategist, right? When I lost 120 pounds? Well, guess what? That I had 15 years of experience in business strategy for major companies, right? And I took that and I used it on my business, and that's how my business thrived. That's how the wellness business thrived. And so now this is what sets me apart and differentiates me in this audience of, entrepreneurs, wellness who are in the wellness industry who want to grow their business, right? This is what differentiates me. If I can be a business strategist for major companies, right? Major Fortune 500 companies, then I can definitely do it for a small business. And also, I did it for my own small business. So that's over 20 years of business strategy experience, right? That's what sets me apart from other coaches and strategists out here is I've done it, proven for over 20 years, right? That's a game changer right there. So look at that. As I'm sharing what has set me apart, what has differentiated me in the marketplace, start thinking about what that is for you. What has set you apart and differentiated you? 20 years of business strategy, yes, right? That was my version of a star. Yes, that has set me apart from other coaches because most have done well. They've grown their business, and I've grown mine and others. Why do you think when you call, oh, I'm not supposed to say the name of the company. Why do you think when you call phone companies or digital or cable companies or whatever, you get a VRU? You have a certain process that you go to set up a new line, a new connection, right? That's what I was doing. That was, you can thank me or you can say, oh my gosh, I hate talking to those people. But either way, that's where we come in, right? We save processes, we save time and efficiencies there. But that's what I'm talking about, right? So that set me out. Here's what else set me apart as a business strategist. I already built an audience of 70,000. I know how to do it, right? I've done it for myself and I've done it for countless of clients. So now, because I've been able to do that, that's another thing that allows me to stand out in that crowd. Again, here's the other thing. In just a few months, because remember, before September, if you guys followed me, I talked about wellness because I was hiding all of this. This was all referral. I only work with coaches on a referral basis or if I met them in person. That's what I was doing. I had a full roster from referrals and in person. And so now I'm like, let me go all the way in. And this gets to be my thing because, and I've mentioned this before, if you guys ever follow me or you know me, then you've heard me speak about this. For me, it's really important to be able to help the world be a better place, for people to feel better. So I started my wellness coaching business because I wanted moms to feel better again because I felt better and I was able to be a better mom to my kids because of it. And so I wanted other women to feel like that. Well, then I realized I could only help a certain number, right? I could only help a certain number of people as me. So I thought if I help wellness coaches, then now they get to stand out. They get to help and reach so many people. So that's kind of where it all came from, right? And so because of that, I was like, let me step out 100% and do this as my full business. And now I get to help others, right? So only since September, you've been hearing me talk about wellness business strategists for wellness coaches. Here's what I do. Here's how I do it. So you've seen me kind of standing out in that space in the last couple months, right? Well, guess what? Another thing that differentiates me. The last few months, as I've been standing out, I've increased my Instagram with my ideal client, right? I've also increased my emails with that ideal client. So now creating more reach. And that's exactly what I'm showing you how to do. So you get to step in and differentiate yourself. You get to look at what is it about you? about your life, about your program that stands out, right? That's going to make that ideal client say, I want to work with you. You're doing something different. I know you can help me. And this is where you want to be talking to. This is how you get to differentiate yourself and stand out. So if you're like, you know what, Ileka, this is it. Thank you so much. Because I've been trying to figure out what it was that made me stand out, that would allow me to stand out, that would allow me to reach and connect with more of my clients so they can come into my program pre-sold, ready to buy, ready because they know they want to work with me already. And that this ideal client is one that can afford my program, that needs what I have and that knows that I'm the one to do it, to help them with it. Then I want you to go ahead and jump and comment me below, or you can go directly to ilekafalette.com and sign up for the Client Magnet Blueprint. But if you comment me below, then we'll have a deeper conversation to see if I can help you on this goal, right? Because it's time to stand out. It's time to differentiate yourself. It's time to create that audience of ideal clients ready to buy your service so they can actually achieve the goal they want to achieve. You get to make an impact, living your purpose. And guess what? You get to reclaim your freaking revenue, right? Because making an impact and living your purpose still allows you to be able to make some moolah, right? Because stop playing that game pretending that, I love what I do. Oh, at least I get to love what I do. You know what? You get to love what you do and make money. All right. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. All right. So let's go ahead and talk. Again, comment me below, or just go ahead and or just go to ilekafalette.com and sign up for the masterclass on Tuesday. It's called the Client Magnet Blueprint. I'm showing you how to become a magnet to your ideal client. All right. Yes, passion doesn't pay bills. Exactly, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah's killing the game, guys. If y'all haven't seen Sarah lately, hop into her DMs or go to her page, Sarah Khan. Follow her because she is doing some amazing things and showing up. I promise you. And Essie Mae Burton. Essie, I'm so excited about her. We met several years ago, and she is the bomb, right? Like literally, like I couldn't even think of a different word. I couldn't like the bomb. Like that's the word I came up with. Like it was 1992. And the reason is because she's that amazing. She has her own, oh my gosh, she has her own company, juicing company, and it is incredible. I do believe she's still shipping the juices, but she also has a brick and mortar. Essie's killing the game. So she's got some stuff coming up as well. So follow Essie and also root her on for some different things, some things she has coming up. But anyways, I'm super excited. I'm excited to see you all in the Client Blueprint Masterclass. It's an interactive masterclass. So it's going to be Q&A. It's going to be all the things, right? We're going to be doing Q&A, but I'm going to teach you how to become that client magnet, right? And I'm giving you the blueprint for becoming the client magnet so that your client is coming to you ready to buy. All right. It shortens sales calls. It shortens the sales cycle, all of this. All right. So I'm showing you exactly how to do that. All right. So I'll see you all in the masterclass. Again, it's clientmagnetblueprint.com. And I'll see you guys there. All right. All right. I'm going to hang out with my family the rest of the day. Take care. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining. All right. I got to go off on every screen. Bye, guys.